Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today, we will dive deep into one of the most heart-stopping storylines unfolding in Salem's miraculous return of the legendary Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, whose arrival becomes the only hope for young Thomas DeMera after a devastating car accident that leaves him fighting for his life. This shocking turn of events sends ripples throughout the entire DeMera family, with Chad DeMera facing every parent's worst nightmare while desperately seeking solutions that conventional medicine cannot provide. The tragic accident that changes everything. The nightmare begins during what should have been a festive Halloween celebration at the Horton Town Square. Thomas DeMera finds himself caught in an emotional whirlwind after witnessing what he believes is his father Chad embracing Kate Green, the woman who has caused so much pain and turmoil in their lives. Jennifer Horton Devereaux stands beside the devastated young boy, equally shocked by the scene unfolding before them. Thomas, feeling betrayed and believing his father has broken every promise made to him, screams out in anguish, "All you care about is her," before bolting into the street without looking. The horrifying moments that follow seem to unfold in slow motion. Chad and Jennifer's desperate screams pierce the air as they watch Thomas run directly into the path of an oncoming vehicle. The screeching of tires echoes through the town square as the speeding car collides with the young DeMera heir. Witnesses at the Halloween carnival stand frozen in shock as Chad races toward his son's crumpled form lying motionless on the pavement. The accident occurs in the aftermath of another incident involving a pumpkin catapult scheme orchestrated by Thomas and Rachel Black, which had already created tension between father and son. Dr. Rolf's miraculous intervention. As Thomas is rushed to University Hospital with life-threatening injuries, Chad faces the unbearable reality that conventional medical treatments may not be enough to save his firstborn son. The medical team works frantically, but Thomas's condition remains critical, teetering on the edge between life and death. It is during this darkest hour that an unexpected savior emerges from the shadows. Wilhelm Rolf, the brilliant yet controversial scientist known throughout Salem for his extraordinary medical breakthroughs and resurrection serums. Rolf's reputation precedes him as the mad genius who has brought numerous Salemites back from the brink of death using his unconventional and often experimental treatments. His arrival at the hospital represents Chad's last desperate hope, as traditional medicine has exhausted all options for Thomas's recovery. The doctor's mysterious methods have saved lives when all seemed lost, though his techniques often blur the ethical lines of modern medicine. Chad, willing to make any deal and cross any boundary to save his son, pleads with Rolf to use whatever experimental treatments might give Thomas a fighting chance. Chad's secret formula and desperate measures. In a stunning twist, Chad DeMera reveals that he has been working on his own secret medical concoction, drawing upon his DeMera heritage and access to the family's hidden scientific archives. This formula represents Chad's desperate attempt to harness some of the knowledge his father Stefano DeMera accumulated over decades of scientific experimentation. The medicine combines elements of traditional pharmacology with experimental compounds that Dr. Rolf had once developed during his time working for the DeMera family. Working together, Chad and Dr. Rolf create a treatment protocol that pushes the boundaries of medical ethics and legality. The secret serum must be administered at precise intervals, and the first 72 hours will determine whether Thomas survives or succumbs to his catastrophic injuries. Jennifer watches anxiously as Chad becomes consumed by his mission to save their grandson, barely sleeping and refusing to leave Thomas's bedside. The experimental treatment begins to show promising signs. Thomas's vital signs stabilize, and color slowly returns to his pale cheeks as the mysterious formula works its way through his system. The DeMera family laboratory secrets. Meanwhile, sinister developments unfold in the DeMera laboratory where dark experiments continue behind locked doors. Spoilers indicate that Stefano DeMera himself may be the subject of a resurrection storyline, with scientific staff working around the clock on a project so secret that even family members remain unaware. Mark Green stumbles upon evidence of these clandestine experiments and finds himself in grave danger after discovering what's really happening in the hidden research facility. The upcoming gala celebration and free clinic grand opening will serve as perfect cover for the illegal medical research being conducted beneath the surface. Tony DeMera's mysterious return to Salem raises additional questions. Has he truly been on an extended cruise, or has something far more sinister kept him away from his family? Evidence suggests that Andre DeMera, long presumed dead, may have orchestrated an elaborate scheme to kidnap his twin brother and assume his identity, allowing him to reclaim control of the DiMera empire while everyone believes Tony has simply been traveling Thomas's road to recovery and lasting consequences. As Thomas begins his miraculous recovery thanks to the combined efforts of Dr. Rolf's expertise and Chad's secret formula, the young boy faces a long rehabilitation process. The experimental treatment has saved his life, but the psychological trauma from the accident and the fractured relationship with his father will require time and patience to heal. Chad must now work to rebuild the trust that was shattered when Thomas believed his father had chosen Cat Green over his own children. The accident also forces Chad to reevaluate his priorities and the decisions that led to this near tragedy. Jennifer plays a crucial role in helping both Chad and Thomas process their emotions and begin the healing journey together as a family. Dr. Rolf's involvement, while life-saving, comes with its own complications. Experimental nature of the treatment means Thomas will require ongoing monitoring to ensure there are no unexpected side effects from the powerful compounds coursing through his system. The dramatic events surrounding Thomas's accident send shockwaves through Salem, reminding everyone how quickly life can change and how precious family truly is. Brady Black learns of his daughter Rachel's role in the pumpkin incident that contributed to the escalating tensions, leading him to impose strict consequences for her manipulative behavior. The entire ordeal serves as a catalyst for multiple storylines that will unfold over the coming weeks, including the continued mystery surrounding the DiMera laboratory experiments and the true identity of the man claiming to be Tony DiMera. The next 2 weeks in Salem promise explosive revelations, emotional confrontations, and shocking twists that will leave viewers on the edge of their seats. Thomas's survival represents not just a medical miracle, but a testament to a father's love and the extraordinary lengths the DiMera family will go to protect their own. Stay tuned as these gripping storylines continue to develop and new secrets emerge from the shadows of Salem's most powerful family. Friday, October 31st, 2025, Days of Our Lives, the chilling Halloween episode full of secrets, suspense, and shadows in Salem. It was a crisp, windy afternoon in Salem on Halloween Day, Friday, October 31st, 2025, and what began as a day of pumpkins, laughter, and family gatherings quickly twisted into something far darker. The people of Salem thought they were simply celebrating a festive day filled with costumes and tricks, but little did they know that before sunset, an act of shocking violence would shake their world to the core. The episode opens quietly, with a note of nostalgia. Susan, known for her quirky ways and unpredictable energy, is running late to meet her friends. Bonnie, ever the talker, fills her in on the latest gossip, and in Salem, gossip always hides more than it reveals. Outside the Brady pub, excitement is already stirring. The townsfolk are preparing for the annual Pumpkin Festival, a cheerful tradition that promises light-hearted fun. But this year, the laughter feels uneasy, almost forced, as though everyone senses that something wicked is just around the corner. Bonnie, smiling with her usual charm, tries to keep the mood light, telling Susan about the big reveal happening in the town square later that afternoon. But Susan's mind is elsewhere. There's a flicker of worry, or is it anticipation, in her eyes. When Stephanie wanders off to look for Alex, Susan follows, calling after her in that breathless, excited tone that always suggests she knows something no one else does. When Susan finally catches up with her, she can hardly contain herself. "Stephanie," she says, grabbing her arm, "it's happening, the story from my second book. It's all coming true." Stephanie looks bewildered, even alarmed. Susan, of course, has always had a vivid imagination, and her books are filled with wild tales of love, betrayal, and danger. But today, her words feel heavy, prophetic, even. Could she really be right this time? Could one of her strange premonitions be unfolding in real life? Out in the town square, the mood is more festive. Children in costumes run about, chasing each other with painted faces and candy buckets. The square glows with the orange warmth of carved pumpkins, their candlelight flickering in the late afternoon wind. Chad stands with Kat, chatting quietly, trying to make sense of the latest chaos in their lives because, as everyone in Salem knows, peace never lasts long here. A few steps away, Jeremy finishes the last of the pumpkin throwing contest, laughing with a group of children. Nearby, young Rachel watches everything with sharp, knowing eyes. She spots Chad and Kat together and smirks. Turning to Thomas, she whispers, "See, I told you adults lie all the time." There's a sting of bitterness in her voice that sounds far older than her years. In Salem, even the youngest hearts learn the hardest lessons early. Thomas hesitates, unsure whether to believe her. But Rachel, persuasive and mischievous, pushes him to join the mischief. "Come on," she urges. "Let's show them." Moments later, in a burst of childish rebellion, Thomas picks up a pumpkin and hurls it right toward Kat's head. The crowd gasps. The pumpkin bursts into pieces, scattering seeds and pulp across the cobblestones. For a moment, everything freezes. And then chaos. In the confusion, a man dressed as Jeremy slips away from the crowd. His costume is eerily accurate, the same jacket, the same boots, the same posture, but something feels off. The real Jeremy is still in the square, helping clean up the mess. So, who is this other man? He moves quietly through the shadows, heading toward a table covered with carving tools and decorations. His hand closes around a large carving knife, the blade gleaming under the pale Halloween light. We never see his face, only the silhouette, tall and deliberate, framed against the glow of the jack-o'-lanterns. As the camera pans back, we see Alex walking nearby, unaware of the danger behind him. He's distracted, perhaps thinking of Stephanie, perhaps lost in his own thoughts. Behind him, the shadow raises the knife, slow, deliberate, menacing. The music swells. A gust of wind howls through the square, snuffing out several pumpkin candles at once. The crowd's laughter fades into distant echoes. The screen cuts to black. Viewers at home are left breathless. Did we just witness an attempted murder? Is Jeremy or whoever wore his costume really planning to kill Alex? And what did Susan mean when she said her book was coming true? The hints are there, like puzzle pieces scattered across the episode. Susan's story from her second book apparently told of a man betrayed by his own reflection, a doppelganger who would rise up on Halloween night to right an ancient wrong. Could that be what's happening here? Is Salem once again haunted by one of its own myths coming to life? Days of Our Lives has always known how to balance drama and emotion, but this Halloween episode adds something more, a creeping sense of fate. Every character seems to move as though caught in a web already spun, unaware that they are each playing a part written long before they were born. For longtime fans, it's classic Salem, secrets whispered in the dark, love tangled with lies, and a town where the past never truly stays buried. And for those tuning in after years away, it's a reminder that Days of Our Lives still knows how to stir the heart and send chills down the spine. What will happen next? Will Alex survive this mysterious attack? Will Susan's strange vision finally make sense? And who, beneath that Jeremy mask, holds the knife that could change everything? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain in Salem, even on a night filled with tricks and treats, the real terror always hides behind a familiar face.